Alright folks, today looks like we're going to be tackling sway bars. So I got the new metal ones. They're going to go right in there and replace those old ones. I've already done this modification on my Ryker. It's not that difficult. This one just seems like it's not in the best of spots, so we're gonna have to work around this. Had to film this at the same time. There's really not much to it. So this bolt right here, yeah, this bolt right here has got to come out. This one down here has to come out. The first thing you do is got to put the one, you reuse the bolts. All right, this you know, there's two spaces for each end of this. That'll fit in there, and then you just reuse all this hardware. So it's pretty straightforward. Looks to me like just a bunch of a lot of unscrewing. So I got my tools here. Let me go find the right socket set, and we'll get back to this. So apparently this is going to be a 13 millimeter. So we'll come in here, put this little guy right there. Then I got to take the socket on the other side. And this looks like the type of install where I'm going to have to be on my stomach. Ramps would definitely have been easier, but as you can, I don't know if you can see, but I got to come in here to the back end and try to do this. Is man, this is tight. So okay, there's definitely going to be a lot of this, so I'm just going to put this to the side until we get to the next step. Alrighty, so top bolt is undone. I'm going to loosen the bottom one, and then we'll pop those out and we'll try for the install side. Alright, that's right there is a magnetic tray. Highly recommend that you get one of these. So I'll just put the camera here, lift up the parts, and show you what we got to do here. So, fairly simple. You got these two little washers right here, okay? One goes there, one goes there. You got this little piece of plastic tubing that goes in between. And what that does is that holds your bearings, not your bearings, your spacers right there, while you insert it into the frame, and then you use the bolt to push the plastic spacer out, and then you move on with your life and you tighten that up. And then the bottom one is the same thing. Fairly self-explanatory. So that's what we'll do now is I guess we'll take this out and see how easy that goes. Alrighty, hope you can see that right there. So okay, so the bolt's out. That just fell down and go boom. And there's the old one. This is a two-handed operation, so we'll see how it goes. Like I said, because you get what you got to do is, no, first let's take this bolt out. What you got to do is come up from the bottom, or from this side. You'll get it in there. And once it's in there, you push that bolt through, and that'll take care of that. All right. Take my word for it. That's only a couple of seconds later. That really wasn't that difficult. But as you can see, the bolt's in there. That little piece is starting to come out. Boom, pops out. Don't lose it. And that's it. So the next thing is you grab the original nut that came with the bike, and you just put that son of a bitch on. It's tough to do left-handed, and it's nylock, so There you go. Okay, so that's in. Now, there's another two of those. There's another two of those little washers for the bottom. And once again, you reuse the hardware. So, since this bit's once again a little fiddly, you know, I'm gonna, well, you know what? We'll try the camera from the other side and see what happens. Okay. Don't know if you can see that, but hopefully you can. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna put a little plastic spacer in. Oh my God, my shoulders are too big for this. There's a washer on that side, the washer on that side. The bolt comes from the back side into that joint, which may or not be lined up. All right, tragedy has struck. All right, we'll get back to this. All right, so bottom one is in. And yeah, that bottom one wasn't easy. You have to fiddle with it a lot to get it to line up. You know, maybe if you jacked up this the rig a little bit, etc., etc., it might go in. I don't have a jack, so that's just, that dog ain't gonna hunt. So once again, this is just the part where I gotta put the bolts back on, a lot of tightening down. Doesn't call for it, but I did put a little dab of Loctite in there because these things vibrate a lot. Ounce of prevention, pound of cure, as I say. So we're just going to tighten it down and then really just repeat the other side. I don't know if I'm going to film that for you guys, but we'll see. We'll see. So lessons learned. Not the most difficult installation. There you can see the install over here is done. It's tight. It's not super tight, but it's tight. You know, I'll check the torque when I go inside. I'll try to look up and find out what the torque specs are for that. But pretty much torqued it down to as tight as I felt it when I took it off. It's a good rule of thumb, I guess. You know, didn't break my arms taking it off, not breaking my arms putting it back in. So now we'll try the other side. Well, now that we got these both out, let's take a look at them. So obviously this one's metal. This one's plastic. As you can tell, this spherical bearing, you know, bolt goes in there. I'll wait for the car to go by. You know, and it'll move around. Okay. Now it has these two little flanges right here that obviously see on this one doesn't have, and this one here is, these are stiff as, Jesus Christ, they're stiff as hell. I do recommend that you just get them a little moving before install. Well, except for the top one. So there's the lettering. I'm sure you want that to the outside. So on the left, if you're sitting down, it would be the right side of the bike. This would be facing that way. So you want to leave this one straight. Don't try to move this one around or misalign it, because this one has to fit up inside the frame. The bottom one's a different story. You know, you want the bottom one, damn, that's tight. You want the bottom one a little loose and a little flexible there, just so you can align it. Because like I said, the top one is good to go because it's pretty much straight on. The bottom one, not so much. All right, you just put the bolt in there and get some leverage. It doesn't say anything about lubricating. I'm not going to even try that, so don't mess with that. Okay, so now we're going to take this and you know, so you put the bolt in there, like just the bottom, right? Okay, and you just move it around. Yeah, flex it. Flex it. There you go. Trust me, if life was perfect, the holes would all just line up. You know, you could just punch it right in there and be good to go. But that's not how this works. For the bottom, you don't need... Okay, hold on. Let me grab these parts here. Okay. So, you know, for the top, you definitely need this little plastic piece to go in there like that. You put that there. I think these are aluminum. And then you put it through to the other side. And that will actually make the shoulder here. Okay? So there you go. See the little plastic pieces in there? All right. Little plastic pieces in there. And that'll just slide right into the top. All right. You know, if you lose a little plastic piece, I guess you'd have to cut a little piece of wood or something. The bottom one, you don't need it so much because you'll have space to put the bolt in and then, well, okay. So when you do the bottom, you're going to come in from the sway bar side. You'll put your bolt in, then you'll put your washer in. You'll try to line up this hole. Boom, it goes in, and then that goes on the other side. And then you put your bolt on. You're good to go. Like I said, this side, that side, the exact same installation. It's you're going to need two 13mm wrenches or two 13mm sockets. That's it. It's you know, two tools. That's it. 3 if you count yourself. All right. So let's go take a look at this side. As you can see, it's all out. Take the GoPro deep. See? There you go. So all you gotta do is get the top one in first, and then try to line up that bottom, put the bolts through, and tighten it up, and you're golden. All right. So it's in, but I put it in backwards, so now I have to take it out. Great. All right. So it's in. This time it's in properly. All right, you can see that the outside bearing is right here. Bolt's going to go on that one. There's 2 inside here. Going to put a little thread locker there, a little thread locker here. Tighten it up there. There's another one of these washers in between the sway bar and the link. Overall, not that complicated. Like I said, when you install it, try to make sure that you got the lettering or engraving, depending on what you buy, facing outwards. If it's just solid, then it really doesn't matter. I mean, it'll go in either way. So if you don't want this out here, you want the machine side on this side, shouldn't make a difference. It's spherical bearings on top and bottom, bolts together the same, it's machined the same. It's a symmetrical object. So it really doesn't matter how you install it, as long as you put the washers in and make sure it doesn't vibrate loose. It's, yeah, so let me put the Loctite on here. Just a dab there, a dab there, and then let me tighten it down. And all right, installation is done on both sides. It's light tightened out, and it's nice and tight. There's the other side. Subtle. Now, honestly, I'm not going to tell you that these things make that much of a difference. I think the ride on this bike was great to begin with. Have no complaints about it. But I was ordering other stuff, which I'm going to install next. So I figured, screw it, I'll just get them. I'm not going to change the sway bar on this one. Maybe you can see right behind this is the my Ryker's parked. The Ryker, I did replace the sway bar, and actually replaced the sway bar before I did the end links. I I'll be honest with you, the sway bar made a huge difference on the Ryker, and the end links made absolutely no difference whatsoever past that. I know there's a lot of internet chatter that says change the links, and change them both, but if you're only going to change one, you change that sway bar. That thing makes the difference. That's just my advice, you know. It's a lot more involved. I mean, I'm literally out here for like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes doing this, and probably most of that was double work because I installed them backwards and had the lettering facing the wrong way. Would have been done in half the time. You know, live and learn. So I'm done here.